Okay, seriously, the more I read this book, the more I'm pretty much disgusted that it doesn't have an anime treatment. Like, I'm not kidding. Sherlock Holmes has an anime. The Count of Monte Cristo has an anime. Zorro, the Three Musketeers, all of them had an anime adaptation. But you're telling me that there is no anime adaptation based off of the Scarlet Pimpernel? The audacity. For those that don't know anything about the Scarlet Pimpernel, let me go ahead and explain. So the story of the Scarlet Pimpernel is basically about a rich noble by the name of Sir Percy Blakeney, who to the rest of high society is nothing more but a fop. But behind the scenes, to the English and to the French, he is the Scarlet Pimpernel. With his band of men, he literally goes over to French enemy lines in order to rescue like political prisoners from the guillotine, which all this takes place during the Reign of Terror. But the funny thing about this throughout the book is that Sir Percy and his band literally make it clear that they're not doing this for some high morals or anything. They're just doing this for fun, just like how a man will pretty much go out hunting and he finds that fun. But all throughout the story, Sir Percy and his band have been relentlessly hunted by the agent of the French government known as Chauvelin, who would stop at nothing in order to capture the Scarlet Pimpernel, and even bribe Sir Percy's wife with the safety of her brother in order to help him. To which she does, of course, because she wanted to help out her brother in order to get him to safety so he doesn't get. But then throughout the story, she happens to learn that the Scarlet Pimpernel that Chauvelin was hunting, which happens to be her foppish husband, Sir Percy himself. Meaning that she just handed her husband off to the guy who's hunting him. And if this was made into an anime, this would be an interesting game of cat and mouse, kind of like the same as Death Note. Here you have Chauvelin, who's literally using every single resource at his disposal in order to try to track down and catch the Scarlet Pimpernel. And then you have Sir Percy, who's literally using his own resources as well as his wit in order to stay one step ahead of him. And as an anime, this shit would slap. And it's not the first time that Japan took some really awesome elements from classic works in order to make them into such great series. But they managed to change it up in many ways to make it more entertaining and more memorable. And an anime of the Scarlet Pimpernel would definitely slap. But that's my thoughts, but I want to hear from you guys. Do you think the Scarlet Pimpernel deserves an anime? What other classic literary works do you think deserves its own anime? Comment down below, let me know, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.